Welcome back, game developers. Today we are going to make a title screen with instructions for how to play our game, as well as a clickable button that starts the game. If you're just joining us, we have been making a simple exploration game as a way to learn the basics of Construct 3. If you like, you can download the project files in the description below and code along with us using the free version of Construct 3. Okay, let's build our title screen. So now that we're going to have more than one layout, let's go ahead and rename our first layout. Let's rename it Level 1. And we're going to have more than one event sheet now, so let's rename the event sheet Level 1 as well. Okay, to make a new layout, we're going to right-click the Layouts folder, and we're going to select Add Layout, and we want the event sheet. You can make layouts without event sheets, but we want it, so add event sheet as well. And we're going to title this layout Title Screen. And we can see that title screen is paired to an event sheet called Event Sheet 1, which is blank. So let's rename that to Title Screen. Okay. So moving back to our title screen layout, we can see that, we have all of this extra play space that we don't need. So let's make our layout just the size of our viewport here. So to find the size of your viewport, you can click the project main folder and that'll load its properties. And you can find the size of the viewport. This is also where you can change the size of the viewport. So let's go ahead and copy that number and move over to our title screen layout and change its size to that of our viewport. All right, now our layout is just the size of our viewport. So I'm going to hold Control and scroll my mouse wheel so I can zoom in again. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a text object to display the name of our game. So I'm going to double click and select text, click anywhere to spawn it, and we're going to go ahead and resize it so it's a little bit bigger and rename it to be title text. And now let's put the name of the game in our text down here for our default text, and I'm going to name my game Explore It All. There it is. You can name your game whatever you want. So go ahead and scroll down in the properties for the text. You can see you can change its font, its size, bold or italic. You can change its color. You can change the alignment. I'm going to set mine to center, vertical alignment to center. And then the origin, I'm going to change that to center as well. And the origin is the coordinate location. So this would be the coordinate point for reference if I would needed it later. But I'm going to go ahead and change the size, make it bigger. I'm going to make it italicized, and I'm going to change the font. Now the font loader sometimes takes a bit of time, but go ahead and choose a font for your game. You can always come back and change it later. I'm going to use Fantasy. And I'm going to change the color to like an orange. All right, I got the name of my game set. Next, let's make the text for the instructions. So I'm going to double click and I'm going to spawn another text object, insert it, and I'm going to rename this instructions text. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm not going to change its origin or any of those settings. Okay, finally we need our play button. So I'm going to double click again in the empty space. And this time I'm going to insert a sprite. And I'm going to create a little play button here. So I'm going to use the fill bucket tool. I'm going to make it blue. And then I'm just going to write the word play. Ka-chow. All right, I'm going to resize that and place it right about there. Okay. Finally, let's change the background color so it's not default white. And I'm going to choose, I don't know, I'm going to do like a light blue. Okay, looks pretty terrible, but it gets the job done. All right, so let's go to our title screen event sheet and actually program this thing. So first, let's make the play button work. So we're going to add an event, and we want when the player clicks the button to actually trigger something, but that's not an action for us. We need a new input method. So I'm going to go back to my layout. I'm going to double click on the event, the blank space, and I'm going to add mouse. So we have keyboard, gamepad, and touch, but right now we're going to use mouse. Okay, now you see that mouse has been added to our project. So if we go back to our title screen and we click add event, you'll see that mouse is now an option. So when the player clicks the play button, okay, so on object clicked, okay, what object got clicked? And it's our play button. Look at that, we forgot to rename it. I'm going to go back and rename it. Okay, what do we want to have happen? Add action. Okay, we want to go to our level 1 layout. So that's under system. So system, and then go to layout. Okay, we have 2 layouts now. We want to go to layout level 1, hit done. Okay, let's rename our play button real quick. Oh, that feels better. Okay, now we have our button coded. Now what about our instructions? So let's add an event, and at the start of the layout, we want to change our instruction text to actually display our instructions. So system on start of layout. Okay, add action. What do we want to have happen? Well, we want our instructions text to change. So we're going to set the text. Okay, and here's where we can type in our text. So, how do you play? Okay, so we're going to start with quote, how to play. We're going to do the and symbol, and then we're going to type new line as one word, and that's going to drop us down to the next line. Then we'll do the and symbol again. Okay, so the first thing was use the keyboard arrows to move. Quote, and new line, and quote, collect coins to earn points. Quote, and new line, and quote. Okay, find the key to open the chest, quote, and new line, and quote, touch the fire and lose health, quote. All right, hit done. And let's go ahead and preview this and see if it works. Okay, here we are in preview menu. We see that our instruction text has displayed our text as we asked it to. And now let's see what happens if we click the play button. Boom, it takes us to level 1, and away we go. Okay, so in today's tutorial, we created a title screen on a new layout. We renamed our event sheets and layouts, and we created some code to run our title screen. Thumbs up if you learned something useful today. and I'll see you next time.